Dorothy Thompson speaking to you today from Pratt Memorial Chapel, and it certainly is, it's moist and hot, and well, it's the time of year when things grow. Well, we see what's growing there. Let's go out to Covered Bridge Garden, and Robin Buttrick will tell us what's growing in her garden.
Okay, we're out here at beautiful Covered Bridge Gardens off of Covered Bridge Road, I guess it is. Or did they change the name?
Bridge Drive.
Covered Bridge Drive, okay. With Robin, the master gardener. Hadn't been here for about a year. So, what do we have growing here?
Hi.
What's different? What's different?
Okay, so it's still really technically still spring.
It is.
Yeah, it's both technically and garden-wise, it's pretty much still spring. So it's June, mid-June. What actually happens in mid-June as gardening is June lull. So
Oh, is that what it is?
yeah, there's a lull because you get your stuff in the ground, but it's really not coming to fruition yet.
Okay.
But we can look around at a few things
Yeah.
that maybe would be interesting.
I saw you at Farmer's Market, I don't know, 3 Wednesdays ago.
Yeah.
But what kind of produce, what did you have?
Well, one thing I had, and this sells off fast, is asparagus.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, how much definition you can get, but you see the asparagus there,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yep,
And then if you look at this one, look at how that's kind of unfolding.
yep.
And then you look at this one, it's almost unfolded. It has been growing outwards. And then if you go over here, this is kind of a lot closer to the final form. Probably this one here, it's very frondy. And these are the leaves of the asparagus plant. And so in the spring, the asparagus comes up as shoots, and you chop them off and eat them, and they're delicious.
Yes, they are.
But eventually you got to stop, because you will kill your plant by chopping all its young shoots and not letting it have a chance to grow and photosynthesize.
Oh.
Because that photosynthesis then nourishes the root. And it takes several years to establish a good asparagus patch. I would say this is still coming along. It's still not fully established, but apparently one reason not to move is if you have a good asparagus patch in your yard.
Oh, okay.
So that's one thing we've been bringing to the market. The other thing would be rhubarb.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
likes the rhubarb pie in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
And actually we do manage to produce rhubarb pretty much all year. If anybody ever wants rhubarb, give us a holler. I do want to say, kind of promotionally, since I always forget to do this, that if people want to order any of our produce, they can just contact me on Messenger or whatever, and I will pick it and have it ready for you if you want to come out and get stuff, not necessarily on market day, but whenever.
Do any local restaurants get your
Utilize-
stuff?
So the winery very commonly has our produce on the Farmer's Market Pizza.
Oh, good.
Wine Down Fridays at the Wild Hill Winery.
Good old Colleen.
Good old Colleen, yeah. So this week she had garlic scapes on there
Oh,
from
really?
our garden. Yeah,
Who doesn't like garlic?
I know. You want to see the garlic scapes?
I do.
Okay. So that's the other thing we're just starting to bring to the market now is the garlic scape. And so these are garlic plants. Your garlic bulb is down in the ground, and this is the scape. So what this wants to do is to become a flower, and then make seeds.
Okay.
And we tend to, typically, we just snap it off
Oh,
right
sure.
there. And then that can be put into a stir fry, or you can put it on top of the pizza like Colleen does, or you can grind them up and make like garlic skate pesto, which we had the other day. It was really delicious.
So before you put it on the pizza, do you have to roast it in any way, or just throw it right on?
That's a question for Colleen, since I have never made garlic skate pizza myself.
Okay.
But I think what I would probably do if I were doing it, I'd probably try to, actually make them thinner and then just arrange them on the pizza and
Okay.
cook them with the pizza. That's what I would do. I've never done it though. And so that is part of what we're bringing. And then we get into some greens too. So down here I have lettuces. That's a red tip bib lettuce.
Yep.
And I have bok choy, which is a kind of an Asian green.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finding a little more popular than I thought it was going to be. So that's good. And that's a good saute vegetable. And over here we have some turnips. I brought some turnip greens in because I was thinning the turnips. But I'll probably start bringing turnips pretty soon. And then we have spinach down here. There's an awful lot of weeds around here right now. Well, there's always a lot of weeds.
Weeding isn't that fun, though.
That depends who you ask. I think weeding is okay. I don't mind weeding really, but it's just there's a lot of area to cover.
Yep.
And we've been pretty busy with planting. You may notice all the white covers this year. And that's because I'm getting kind of tired of the bunnies and the deer eating my veg,
Yeah.
as well as insects. And so this helps a lot with that.
But what's under there?
So under this one is sweet peas, and you can see they were severely eaten by a deer before I put the cover up. But on the other side, they're growing a little better.
Yeah.
I've got some on the other side of the garden.
You
can
probably
see,
put it down there
and
looking. They're
full of-
watching.
Right.
I see them.
Right, and
Well,
the
good.
question about what the dogs are not doing is another question for another day.
Oh, the watchdogs aren't watching?
Maybe they're falling down on the job a little.
Yeah, I would
don't
say you should talk to
know. They
them.
bark a lot, but then the deer start to understand they're confined. So these are beets. This is a very favorite of deer, bunnies, and some humans. Other humans do not like beets. So somebody, I'm going to say a deer, ate a bunch of the tops, so I covered them up. But they're otherwise doing quite well and getting close to ready. I started a few things under plastic this spring, and that kind of helped get them ahead, because otherwise, it's all takes a while. We've only just got done with having frost. So I've got onions here, and then here, these are taters.
Potatoes? What kind of potatoes?
We've got red potatoes, yellow potatoes, and white potatoes.
Okay.
Now this is a Colorado potato beetle.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's a pest in this garden. They're easy to catch and kill. We do potato beetle rounds. We do beetle rounds. Bob is on beetle rounds these days, but I lost my garlic seed. But they haven't come on too heavy, but yeah, here they are. Here they are. All of a sudden you start seeing them, and they will eat your
Boy, they're
potato
all over the
plants
place.
up. I've just killed them with my bare hands.
Wow.
Yeah, well, desperate times.
You don't mess around.
No. Over here, corn. And
Oh.
that's sweet corn. And you can see down there's a bigger patch of sweet corn.
Yep.
So we don't sell the sweet corn. We just, we're growing basically organically grown sweet corn, and we don't grow that much of it, so we just hog it all for ourselves.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So
what
this-
year was it when your tomatoes were all washed out? Was that last year or
Last
the year
year
before?
the
Okay, last
tomatoes had a bad year. I mean, we got tomatoes. I made a whole bunch of salsa and things, but yeah, they were less than what we were hoping. This is going to be corn here too, and they haven't even really come up yet. And you may notice, probably the camera can't see this, but there's a net on top of that.
Yep.
The pest that I'm concerned about in this case is the red-winged blackbird.
Really?
Yeah, and so what they do is when the little shoot of corn comes up, they pull the whole plant, eat the seed off the bottom, and throw away the green.
That's so wasteful.
It's just really
Well, they come by
annoying.
land and by air, so you don't know where to look.
Exactly, so I put this net on there, and then they can't get into it.
So they don't come by sea yet, though.
They what?
You don't have any fish that
Nope, we don't have any fish that come to our
flap
garden.
over here and help themselves.
There's not, I don't even think of a single crop that I have that's threatened by fish.
Well, there's no creek around here, is there?
Down there is.
Down yonder?
Down yonder by the school there is.
Well,
Creek.
beware of the fish that...
And when it really rains a lot, water does kind of flow through a path of our...
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that last year.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, okay. We also have, under fence, I have got cabbages, and I need to get in there and weed, but they're coming along real nice.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, and, you know, I sometimes have trouble with the cruciferous vegetables. The thing that gets them, these little white, beautiful white butterflies, there's one right there flying.
Oh, yep, I see it.
They land on them, lay eggs, the eggs hatch, the little larvae then eat the plant.
Oh,
You get those green worms all over them, which are not appealing. People don't really like it. Sometimes they can't see them too well, and then next thing you know, they're taking a forkful of them.
what's with this nature stuff?
It's a lot more complicated than you think.
Cucumbers, what about those? You have those?
They're just tiny plants now. They're up at the top.
Oh boy, I really like...
A cucumber.
I could sit down and just slice it and put salt on it and eat it like potato chips. Because they're really good for you. Electrolytes, water.
I love my cucumbers
Yes.
too. I just eat them right straight out of the garden. Don't even cut them, no salt, nothing. Sometimes I crave cucumbers. These are broccoli and cauliflower. I have some fennel in there. I have some tomatillos. Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Are those cruciferous?
Yeah, those are all cruciferous. So, yeah, none of this stuff is really ready for market yet, though. We have under tents, we also have all our squash and pumpkins and stuff down there.
That'll be a while.
That'll be a long while, but they're growing nice. One thing we're kind of happy about this year, apples. The apple tree, this one, has a lot of apples on it.
What kind of apples?
You know, my recollection is that it's a Cortland,
Okay.
but that's my recollection, but I could be wrong. Yeah, unfortunately, if you don't write these things down, you know, after a few years, it takes a while for a tree to start putting fruit up.
Yep.
This is my flower garden. It's not very floral yet, but actually all those plants that are in there are flowering plants. Eventually, one hopes. And this big weed patch is actually garlic, more garlic. And then I wanted to show you the peas. Not gonna take those to market either, I'll be honest. They're just too delicious.
Are these snow peas?
Snap peas.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is the first patch that I planted. Look at how beautiful those are, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're just dripping with peas. But still, you know, you go around and pick this, I'll get one bag of peas. I'm not going to take them to the market.
No.
No, I'm gonna eat
That's
them.
crazy, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's see. Right, my Wednesday market was a little bit hampered by deer activity. Because the night before, I had a whole bunch of nice lettuces over here that I was going to harvest for the market, but the deer came in and ate them first.
They really make the rounds, don't they?
They pretty much do, yeah. And you know, there's this whole field, half of which is alfalfa. Why don't they just eat that? I don't know.
Well, they know that it bothers you. I mean, forget Disney. They're not that cute, okay? They destroy a lot of stuff.
Is that it? They're just like a little bit malevolent.
Yeah,
In-
that's another big word. We learned a couple last
I know
summer.
you like those, and I'm glad I was.
I
able
said
to-
impetuous, and you called me impertinent, and it was deeply painful and hurting.
I know.
We got over that though.
Okay, good. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult. I was just showing off my vocabulary.
I know, I've got quite a vocabulary too, you know.
I do.
I got through the grade school.
I was expecting you to have a perfectly good vocabulary, so, you know, don't be insulted if I call you some sort of multisyllabic word.
Oh, there you go, yeah, okay.
This is rhubarb.
Yep. I never cared for this. I think it was so sour, but then you add so much sugar to it, which doesn't make it healthy anymore.
I totally agree. Rhubarb is not exactly a health food, but, you know, we have our desserts every week. We have rhubarb every week.
Well, that's okay. It's a very, it reminds me of a very old-fashioned
It is.
dessert. You
I
go out
mean-
and pick the rhubarb,
Yep.
and
I made rhubarb pies one week. I made rhubarb custard bars
oh,
one week, and they were kind of juicy. Like, they
Mm-hmm.
were not very custardy, more juicy. So I made them again the next week to try to improve upon it.
okay.
And then I made rhubarb cheesecake bars. Yeah, so get everybody, all our listeners will start thinking, oh, I want some of that rhubarb.
Wow, you eat health. Don't you ever just sit down and crack open a bag of chips?
Absolutely.
And plow right through it? Okay, good. It's good to hear. I feel better now.
Yeah, although, you know, all the medical evidence keeps stacking up against any kind of processed foods.
I know.
It's
I mean, the fatty liver is like an epidemic.
it is.
For people who even never drank, they go to,
I
won't mention the
encountered that.
fast food,
Yeah.
but it just,
And even you can even eat kind of semi-healthy foods, but just too much of them and end up with a fatty liver.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's a very hard-working organ.
it is, and you know, it's not worth it. I don't know. I feel like this, you know, this processed food, it kind of has a certain appeal to the hindbrain that makes you think you want it, and there's maybe none of the natural stops that like real vegetables have, so your brain doesn't recognize the need to stop eating.
Right, okay.
And there's more to it than that. It's like metabolically, it increases your insulin levels in your body, and that then leads to you be craving more of those kind of foods.
Especially if the beef has sugar in it, too. Or the bun has sugar.
Yeah, sugar is the biggie for that.
Yep.
And so, you know, people get kind of hooked on those things. And the way to stop with that is like with all drugs, abstinence.
Yeah.
And then after a while, that craving just subsides. Your brain starts to understand that you'll do fine without those things. And I think that, you know, kind of all addiction is kind of like that. Your brain has gotten an idea that that's not accurate, that you need this thing that's actually harmful to you. So
Addiction's a weird thing because you could be addicted to exercise.
you can be addicted to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love to tell this, and I don't know if you have time for a story.
Oh, I sure do.
Okay, I heard this on the radio. This psychologist was talking about how she was training students in a classroom, and they were doing role play, and she had to step in because they had an uneven number of students, and so she played the patient, and the student played the psychologist, and she decided she would present a real problem that she wanted to help to work on. And she said, you know, she reads these romance novels, and she's spending way too much time, and she would like to change. She would like to stop doing that because she's ignoring her family for reading romance novels, and which she characterized as soft porn, actually, but romance novels.
Well, yeah, the kind that you buy at the
dime store.
They used to say you
romance
buy them at the Greyhound station, you just leave them on the bus.
Yeah, probably
for the
so.
next person.
Probably so, right. But, so the student who was playing the psychologist gave her the advice that she should stop for a month
Yeah.
and, you know, just maintain abstinence for a month. And she said it took her 2 weeks to be able to sleep right at night when she put down the romance novels. She was addicted to them. Like, neurochemistry wise, her brain thought she needed that, and she was very unsettled for a full 2 weeks before she felt good again and could forget about romance novels. And then at the end of a month, she's like, okay, I can do a little bit, just a little. I'll just take a little of this, And she reads a romance novel and spends the entire weekend on a romance novel binge, at which point she realized she had to give it up for a year in
Wow.
order to get that out of her system.
And they're not really well written. They're not Hemingway or
It was just
James
something
Joyce.
that it was a habit.
Yeah.
And she got that looped into her brain circuitry, and she continued to feed it by doing it, and the more you feed it, the stronger the circuitry gets.
Can't you just watch Hallmark specials?
Sure.
See,
Well, you would think, right? But the point I'm trying to make is this is
know.
not even a drug, right? This has no actual physiologic addicting quality to it. However, she was addicted to it. And I just thought that was an extremely informative piece. When I listened to it, it really helped me understand that, you can kind of get addicted to anything. And,
Yeah.
and it's really about the brain circuitry getting reinforced over and over. And so the solution is abstinence.
Yep.
And it's, you're going to have to oftentimes white knuckle through. I have heard there are certain things you can use, like, I don't even know, but certain things you can use to get past addiction. For sure, there's some pharmacological help for alcohol addiction and narcotic addiction. But anyway, main thing is you gotta get off and stay off long enough for your brain to settle down
Yeah.
and stop thinking you need that thing.
Well, the deer and the rabbits have to learn that they can't have everything in life. They've got to just, abstinence with them too. Quit eating your food.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I
so.
don't, the thing is also though, as far as getting rid of an addiction, you got to be motivated. So I'm going to guess my deer and my rabbits are not motivated.
No, they don't read. They don't read romance. They don't read
And
James Joyce. They
they don't
just
consider
eat.
themselves addicted to their
No.
vegetables.
No.
They just are like, oh, that's food, let's eat it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So they're not going to be like, oh yeah, I really need to get over this.
No, they're over there smoking a cigarette. They're doing the best they can.
Yeah, I don't think so, but good idea. We could put them all in treatment, right?
Well, that's kind of costly,
That's true. And I'm not sure that the way has been paved for that anywhere.
No.
Now, down here, see those tiny little things?
I
That's
do.
dill.
Oh, dill is good.
People like dill a lot. It was a little late to go in because I just had a lot of things on my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, as usual. Okay, here's your thing you love to talk about.
Oh no, strawberries.
There they are.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But they look way better than
Mark
last
weeded
year.
them, and then he put a bunch of, he weeded them yesterday. And he put a bunch of coffee grounds on. I'm not sure if for fertility or pest.
Well, this is Mark's baby, isn't it?
Well,
Because he always talks about strawberries.
he always used to talk about strawberries, but then I was the one doing the work. But I started to get hives from handling strawberries, and so I put my foot down. I refuse, and he's picked it up.
Oh, good.
So yeah, but so far they haven't amounted to much. I just think strawberries are really hard. They require a ton of attention,
Oh, do they?
more so than a lot of things. Yeah, like this rhubarb, we hardly have to do anything. You hardly have to weed it. It's just strong,
It grows quickly too,
and
doesn't
it
it?
grows quickly and it covers the space really well. Another one down there, horseradish.
Oh.
Never have to do anything to
Let's
horseradish.
go look at that. I
You
love.
can't even get rid of horseradish. It's right here. This is horseradish.
Oh, this.
We've tried to dig it out and eliminate it, and it is not eliminatable.
Well, how do you?
And so you got to dig that
Make this
root out
edible.
from underground. There's no, I can't even get it, but, well, here you see a remnant of a
Okay.
root. That goes a lot longer. You got to peel them, grind them up in a grinder with a little vinegar and salt, and you have horseradish. Prepared
good.
horseradish. Yes. I do like my horseradish, but as far as horseradish plants, I would say only plant a horseradish if you want it there forever. It's like marriage in a state that doesn't allow divorce.
Oh, yeah. What states are those?
I don't know. I don't think that exists, actually.
No,
I've
I
never
don't
heard
think
that,
so
but
either.
I just made that up for fun.
For fun.
I think these two here, I think are elephant garlic. But I don't know.
Elephant garlic.
Elephant garlic. It apparently is an onion, actually, more so. But it tastes kind of garlicky. Spinach. So that's the tour.
It's supposed to rain pretty much every day. I don't remember. This upcoming week.
Oh, I hope so. We need rain so much. I've been doing some watering, not too much, because they keep having rain in the forecast. But I've been fooled by that before. I'm going to probably water it.
Yeah, we've all been fooled by that. It was supposed to rain Friday, and it didn't, which was good because there were some activities
Yes.
that afternoon.
Well, it rained. What day was that?
I think it was.
Tuesday night, I think.
It was loud. Wait a minute. What? You don't even know what you're eating.
Yeah, I do. It's a flower.
It's not poison ivy or anything.
Do you want one?
No, thanks. It's a little bit too. Remember Yule Gibbons, who just kind of just ate bark off of trees and stuff.
Yule and I are kindred spirits.
Really? I don't think so. You never met him.
You're right.
Jeez. Okay.
He's my soulmate.
Well, what are these things you're eating?
This is got this is a Chinese cabbage,
Oh, okay.
and that is bok choy.
Oh, that I know.
And so they've gone to seed,
Okay.
and when they do that, they kind of give up on forming heads.
Okay.
And so I just like to eat the little flowers. The bok choy, I'm going to let those seeds develop and let them spring all over the garden, and then I get little surprise bok choys all fall.
Wow.
So that's very nice.
It is.
Well, we also have a boat. I don't think that was there last year.
I don't think so either.
Just a boat. I mean,
For some reason.
it's the idea was that we would make it into a raised bed. Flip it over, fill it up with dirt.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, put some holes in the bottom for drainage.
Yeah.
And,
But it never
eventually-
happened.
Well, it still could.
It still could. You just have to flip it over.
It's sitting there, and right now it's just a nice, handy platform for various tools.
I have a feeling that it'll just be kind of a platform for quite a while. I shouldn't say that, but it's easier just to
You never do
set
know.
stuff there.
You do never know when
You might be impetuous and just say, okay, I'm going to flip it over and fill it with dirt. I'm going to give myself 2 hours to do that. You could.
way, no possible way.
Oh, okay.
It would take me more than 2 hours.
Well,
to fill that
a day.
It would, if I had a mound of dirt right next to it, I could easily do it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But where am I going to get that dirt? That's the key.
That's Mark's project.
Okay. Well, yeah.
He'll watch this, and he'll say, what the?
I don't know. He might not watch it.
Oh, he will.
How do you know?
Okay, what else is there? You should let those dogs out and to chase the deer away. They wouldn't run away, would they?
Well, that's the problem with letting the dogs out, is that they go off of the property, and other people don't seem to like that too much.
No.
If both of those dogs get out at once, this is not a deliberate act on our part, but occasionally, somebody leaves a door ajar or something,
Yeah.
and they find a way to get out, and both of them go, and then I get a call, a couple hours later, your dogs are in town or whatever.
Right.
That's not good.
No, and the deer, meanwhile, are kind of looking at each other, thinking, at least they're not even a menace to us. Then they come down and eat at the buffet.
While the dogs are off.
Yeah, I know. The deer have it all planned out.
I don't know how in tune they really are with the comings and goings of the dogs, but the dogs, I think they do know that the dogs are confined.
Yeah.
So we do let Tipper out sometimes because she won't go very far on her own. She won't go anywhere really on her own anymore.
Okay.
But she's getting a little chubby, a little lazy. She's 8 years old. So, you know, there's not a good answer to this.
I'm going to come back, what, in a month?
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, middle of July. Why not?
Yeah, that'd be a good time. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be gone probably kind of at the week that surrounds the end of July and the beginning of August. I'm going on a bike trip, but other than that,
okay.
bicycle.
All right. Bicycle. I knew that.
Okay.
Not a motorcycle or e-bike.
No, not even an e-bike, although there could be somebody on an e-bike with us, but
Well, that's okay.
yeah. Well, I'll be riding a regular bike. Gotta keep myself in shape.
All right. Well, I will see you next month.
Excellent.
Thank you,
I
Robin.
appreciate your coming out.
We'll learn more words.
Yeah, we can. I mean, they just have to show, you know, they have to come at the right moment,
I know.
the words. But,
Yep. You can't plan ahead, though. You can't plan those things.
Yeah.
All righty.
Well, you could always go visit Covered Bridge Gardens, or you could stop by their stand on Wednesdays at 1:30. It opens right downtown, the Richland Farmers Market. See you later.